Hi, everybody. It is Thursday, November 6th. We are back to regular programming. I'm Jackson Mitchell. Let's dive right in. 12 are dead following a plane crash in Louisville, Kentucky on Tuesday. Shortly after takeoff, UPS Flight 2976 came crashing down, tearing into an auto parts store lot and a petroleum recycling center, that leading to an inferno and oil spilling across roadways. The National Traffic Safety Board, or NTSB, said during takeoff, the left engine detached from the left wing, leading to the collision. BN will continue monitoring this. Arguments began yesterday in the case at the Supreme Court where small and medium-sized businesses have questioned President Trump's authority to implement tariffs under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, or IEEPA. Almost all of the tariffs that Trump put into place were enacted using that law. Multiple conservative-leaning justices expressed skepticism towards the use of IEEPA. Take a listen to this moment with Chief Justice John Roberts.
Counsel, some time ago you dismissed the applicability of the major questions doctrine, and I want you to explain that a little bit more. I mean, it seems that it might be directly applicable. You have a claim source, an IEEPA, that had never before been used to justify tariffs. No one has argued that it does until this particular case. Congress uses tariffs in other provisions, but not here. And yet, and correct me on this if I'm not right about it, the justification is being used for a power to impose tariffs on any product from any country in any amount for any length of time. That seems like, I'm not suggesting it's not there, but it does seem like that's major authority, and the basis for the claim seems to be a misfit.
Justice Amy Coney Barrett said that the case the defense was using, a case brought during the Nixon administration, was not similar to this one, saying there was no precedent. The court's liberal justices also pressed the government on the scope of presidential power, questioning whether the executive branch should be able to impose long-term economic restrictions without congressional approval. And beyond that question of authority, there's a new one: refunds. If the court rules that these tariffs were unlawfully imposed, importers who paid those duties may seek billions in refunds. However, according to U.S. Customs and Border Protection, duties paid while the tariffs were in effect are not automatically refundable. Companies would and need to file formal protest or challenges, making the process long and uncertain. Legal analysts to say even if the plaintiffs win, it's unlikely consumers would see any refunds, and only the businesses that filed claims could benefit. The case could have wide-ranging implications for future presidents, both Republican and Democratic, who have used the IEEPA to impose trade penalties or freeze foreign assets. A decision is expected by next year. The Trump administration has reached a deal with pharmaceutical companies Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk to significantly reduce the cost of obesity medications. Under the agreement, the drugs will be offered for as low as $149 a month, with potential Medicare coverage for certain beneficiaries. Here is President Donald Trump from the Oval Office earlier this afternoon.
Well, this is very exciting because, again, we're bringing drug prices down to levels nobody ever thought was possible. Tremendous cuts, 200%, 300%, 500%, 700%, a little bit more than that. So today I'm thrilled to announce that the two world's largest pharmaceutical manufacturers, Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk, have agreed to offer their most popular GLP-1 weight loss drug. I call it the fat drug, remember? At drastic discounts. They're very effective drugs. So far, I've never heard anything bad about them. I only hear good about them. It's pretty. Is there anything bad about them, Bob? Yeah, I haven't heard anything bad. Someday, maybe it'll come out.
Now, the deal is a part of a broader White House effort to lower the cost of GLP-1 medications, which are widely used for diabetes and weight loss. Arkansas Attorney General Tim Griffin announced that his Medicaid fraud control unit has arrested 7 people accused of defrauding the state's Medicaid program. Investigators say the suspects submitted false claims for services that were never provided, including caregivers who claimed to have worked hours they didn't and others who billed for services while patients were hospitalized or out of town. Authorities say the arrests follow a months-long investigation into fraudulent billing practices targeting vulnerable Arkansans. In one case, a woman from West Memphis allegedly billed over $15,000 for in-home care that location data showed she never provided. In another, 2 caregivers were accused of working together to manipulate clock-in records and pocket state funds. Arkansas Attorney General Griffin said his office is committed to protecting taxpayers and ensuring that Medicaid funds go to those who truly need it, not to individuals who abuse the system for personal gain. The 7 arrests are part of a broader statewide effort to crack down on Medicaid fraud and hold offenders accountable. Former FBI Director James Comey has been indicted after a grand jury in the Eastern District of Virginia returned 2 charges, one for making a false statement to Congress and another for obstructing a congressional proceeding. The case stems from Comey's September 30th, 2020 testimony before the Senate Judiciary Committee, where he denied authorizing anyone at the FBI to leak information to the media, a claim prosecutors say is false. The indictment arrives just as the 5-year statute of limitations expires. U.S. Attorney Lindsay Halligan, a former personal attorney to Donald Trump, replaced a career prosecutor who had questioned the case strengths. During a recent hearing, U.S. Magistrate Judge William Fitzpatrick criticized the government's, quote, indict first, investigate second, unquote, approach, highlighting tensions in the prosecution strategy. Comey has pleaded not guilty, calling the case politically motivated and describing it as a retaliatory, selective action by the Department of Justice. That will do it for this edition of Your Daily Brief on this Thursday, November 6, 2025. This has been Your Daily Brief. I'm Jackson Mitchell. See you guys tomorrow.